What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I know I can hear myself yes, I can hear myself really well, but I need to know if you can all hear and if the quality is good. We got a little bit of an upgrade in technology. So do me a favor, let me know in the comments if you can detect a difference in our visuals, uh, our stream, if it's streaming smoothly, or if it feels like it's pretty much the same. Made some investments in the channel. I want to invest. I want to extend my thanks to you all who make it possible. You donate, you contribute, you hit the like button, you subscribe, and you hit the like button, you subscribe, and that gives me the ability to bless the channel. That's where we are right now. Much clearer. Okay, bet. Great sound. Bet. Yeah, we definitely got a more powerful machine now. That I think, you guys know I'm in school for tech, right? So I'm learning about like computer systems and memory and RAM and all that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not giving my people the best quality because I don't have the best machines, right? I'm buying whatever looks cool on the shelf at Best Buy. I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? The man who rejects correction is a fool, right? The man who rejects correction is a fool. And I was corrected. I made it happen. I mean, I found out, and I passed. I took us to another level, and I hope that you can see it, and I hope that it's pan off, guys. We gotta talk about how FBA. We gotta talk about how Tariq Nasheed and FBA basically spanked the Somalis, right? And this is not me tooting the horn of FBA. This is me saying the Somalis made it real easy for FBA to cook them because they got cocky, right? What was the old saying? Pride before the fall. That's what they say. Pride before the fall. The Somalians got cocky. They jumped out. They jumped off the porch. They was over here on protected status. They got cocky, jumped off the porch. As my granny used to say, they wrote a check that they asked couldn't cash. They bit off more than they could chew. Whatever cliche sayings. They basically thought they was with it. They thought they was ready. And when they were tested, they failed the test miserably. And now they have to sit back and bear the onslaught of criticism from groups such as FBA, online hate groups, also other cultures, other ethnicities who have been in America in large numbers longer, who understand how America works. I would say that Black Americans in many ways attempted to warn the Somalis that they really didn't understand the nature of this beast that we call America. Not saying America's bad, not saying America's good, just saying that America is a beast of its own. It has its own threats. See, you go to Somalia, at least you understand that the bullets is what's going to kill you. So you need to avoid the bullets and the insurgents. But in America, there's 1,000 ways to die. And I don't mean like death literally. I mean, you can die financial death. At least in Somalia, everybody is poor. So if you're poor, it's fine because everybody else is poor. But imagine being in America, a place where you can be right next to massive wealth, incredible wealth, and not have two nickels to rub together. I think of the contrast between Skid Row and the rest of downtown LA. Multi-million-dollar high-rise apartments, but at the bottom, abject poverty, right? And I think the Somalis really didn't understand that. I think the Somalis came to America and they thought, excuse my French, they thought shit was sweet. Oh, this easy. This an easy lick. We gonna be able to come over here and take advantage. They don't know. They don't know about us. They don't know how we do. And now they're crying. They're crying, real tears, because Donald Trump has dropped the hammer on them. They let Tim Walz and these liberal boys, trick them into believing that America was just a soft place that was going to let them have their way. And now they're dealing with the repercussions of that. And you have the president of the United States openly referring to them as garbage and saying he wants them out. Trump can't say that. Yeah, he can. He's not really the boss. Yes, he is. See, America does a really good job of hiding the hand of power, right? America wants you to believe that it is not what it actually is. America wants you to believe that this is the land of the free. People could come here and pretty much do whatever they want, and there are really no real consequences that one has to deal with. But what I believe other cultures understand that maybe Somalis missed is that America is a type of soft, indirect power, right? In America, power does not confront you directly. It comes at you in an asymmetrical fashion. If you don't know what asymmetrical means, it means that it comes from you from all directions, right? It's little soft power moves that those who are not sensitive to these power moves would not recognize, right? I'll give you an example. There are some states right now that are giving illegal criminal alien Somalian immigrants free housing. You don't have to pay rent, utilities, bills for 2 years, right? Understand that. So they give you a soft place to land for 2 years. And then once the 2 years is up, now you get thrown in a rat race with everybody else, right? But what America did was they artificially softened the blow of what it means to come to America. When you look at the Irish, the Scottish, even the Cambodians and the different groups that came here initially, hell, the Pilgrims and the African slaves, we were just thrown in and it was like, yo, sink or swim. These African immigrants, these Hispanic, criminal, illegal, alien, migrant, rapist immigrants that are coming from South America, they are given a soft landing. And what that does is make them think that shit is sweet over here in America. But that's not the reality. Understand something. Today I found out, well, I knew it already, but I was watching a video about the free living situation that the Somalians are getting when they come to America, right? And I said, yo, they giving a Somalian free rent for 2 years, but they're giving me a street sweeping ticket because there's nowhere else to park. So I had to keep my car on the side where the street sweeper comes. And just because I didn't move my car, there was no mercy on me. There was no soft landing for me. It was like, yo, bro, $98. Have a nice day. See, and you got people who are given a head start. They're given a soft landing. They're given a springboard from which to jump off of, literally trying to look down on American people who from the day we were born had to get it out the mud. We didn't get any handouts, not people like me. We came from the bottom, so to speak. But a Somalian come over here on 2 years free rent and buy a Tesla with the money that he's saving and say, oh yeah, if you would have this too if you worked harder. No, I would have this too if I didn't have to pay rent, utilities, lights, gas, and auto insurance for 2 years. Yeah, we could all have a Tesla. If we got the opportunities that they were given, we could all have matching Benzes. But when I came to America from my mother's womb, it was like sink or swim, nigga. Wasn't no free rent. Wasn't no free housing, free gas, free lights. I come from a place where I've experienced getting my lights cut off. Damn if you had kids and mouths to feed. You don't pay this bill, you're going to be in darkness, my nigga. You're going to be doing homework by candlelight like you in the 1800s. And it's crazy to me how someone who basically got the red carpet rolled out for them to come into America has the audacity to try to compare their stuff with what we're dealing with, not only as Black Americans, but any group of people in America. You hear on TPS, temporary protected status. You got a furnished apartment with rent free. And you have the audacity to say, oh, Black Americans are just jealous of us. What are you talking about, bro? Black Americans are not jealous of you. You were given everything free and still stole. You still committed theft. Imagine a bunch of people who get 2 years free rent, no lights, no gas payments. And to thank you as the American taxpayer they thank you for providing this for them because they can provide it for themselves. They thank you by stealing $500 million from the federal government, which is you are the government. When they steal from the government, they steal from you. Now there are people who are saying that this theft goes as high up as $8 billion that these people have stolen. I mean, I need people in the audience to let me know how they feel about this. I got Somalis all over TikTok, all over the internet, telling me how we are jealous of them. And I'm looking at videos and reading articles where the people saying people are jealous of them and we stick together and we practice Islam and all this shit. Hey, Islam is a whole lot easier to practice when you got free rent. And you quickly realize it has very little to do with their cultural characteristics. It has more to do with the fact that the infidels, right? That's what they refer to us as in Islam. We are infidels. It has more to do with the fact that the infidels are willing to give money to provide for you when you come to this country because your war-torn shithole is no longer able to sustain you. That's the reality right here. It's the same camera, y'all. It's the same camera. It's a better laptop. And it's just more powerful driving the crap out of this camera. Just understand, you know what I mean? Understand. It's been the same camera. It was just the laptop was terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't doing what I'll explain it at the end. Keep watching. But anyway, so we made a soft landing for these people only to have them turn around and steal from us and then say, we jealous. Imagine someone moving in your damn house, steal from you, and then when you kick them out, they say, oh, you just jealous of me. And if you Black, I know you either experienced this or you've heard of this happening. I'm telling you, the more Negroes and Black people try to distinguish themselves from the group, the more they prove that we all Black all over the world. It ain't really much difference between us. We do the same type of crazy crap. We do the same type of crazy stuff. Only a Black person, you let them come stay with you, they steal from you, you kick them out, and then they say that you jealous of them. And in that event, what would you do? You would kick their ass out. And that's what's happening. Donald Trump then went full nigga on these Somalians. He said, oh, y'all gonna steal? You out of here. And we gonna degrade you a little bit before you go, just to let you know that this is not being said in a nice way. I love it. I've always said that Donald Trump is like a reflection of America. And a lot of us look in the mirror and we don't like what we see, but I love what I see when I look in the mirror. I've been around the world. I know what things could be like. You don't know. You don't even got a passport. You ain't even never been more than 10 miles outside of your city. Go around the world and you'll realize how good you really got it. But we've been saying it for years. Like Patrick Smith is saying, people have been saying it for years. People have been saying it for years. And me, I'm not going to lie. I was one of the people be like, man, these immigrants ain't getting no special treatment. They're not getting special loans. And for a long time, that was true. But then I learned about the temporary protective status. And I learned that, they are getting a lot of perks that Americans don't have access to. Now, Americans have access to affordable housing. But I don't know a single American getting absolutely free housing. I know some Americans paying $12 a month for rent on a 3-bedroom house. But what I say is this, they are American. They were born here, so they are entitled to that if they hit hard times. We work so that they can have it. But for a bunch of people who have never invested anything into this country to come here and receive those kind of benefits, it's absolutely diabolical. And charity is okay to a certain extent, but what really pisses me off is when somebody has the audacity to try to accuse you of being jealous of them. I'm jealous of you stealing my damn money? I stole your money, but you only mad because you jealous of me. They must think we some type of new fools up in here. I just don't like that. And I'm not trying to sound xenophobic, but if you take this as xenophobia, that's fine. But they stole from us, and they need to be held accountable. Just like the Venezuelan drug dealers who are trying to bring drugs into America, and Donald Trump is doing the righteous thing by exterminating them like the roaches they are, and you trying to demonize the dude. No. You go to any other country in the world, and if you try to bring drugs in, death penalty. Go to Malaysia. Try to bring drugs into Southeast Asia. Go to China. Try to bring drugs in there. Go look at what happened in Russia with the transgender. What's her name? What's her name? Tiffany? Is her name Tiffany? What's the basketball tall one? Brittany Griner. We're the only country on earth where people within the country get mad at the president for upholding the rules of America. And to those people, I want to say this. What do you want? Do you want to just open the borders and let anybody up in here? Anybody who want to come could come in. What do you want? Okay, all the drugs and narcos, just bring all the drugs you want in here. It's like with these people, they fight for things that they don't even want. They don't want open borders. You know they're cowards. They don't want the drug cartels roaming the streets of America. But then they'll sit up and say, oh, you got to give El Chapo due process. How about this? When we catch the leader, we'll give him due process. The rest of them get exterminated like roaches. How about that? I don't feel sorry for these people because these people won't feel sorry for me or my kid when my kid is doped up, hooked to crack cocaine, out here selling ass for $5. They won't care. They'll laugh. They'll laugh. Let's be real. But we got to feel sorry for them. But this lady, Ilhan Omar, put a 1 in the comments if you know who Ilhan Omar is. Put a 1 in the comments if you know who Ilhan Omar is. I want a 1 in the comments. I want to know that we're locked in. If we locked in, ain't no switching up. All right, so y'all getting the 1s in the comments. Okay, we're good then. We're good. And I see a lot of you are liking that camera. I see a lot of you are liking the sound. You know, I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. That is good. All right, we got the 1s in there. Okay, so Ilhan Omar is an illegal. Well, she's not illegal. She's a legal immigrant. She's a naturalized citizen in America. But she is also a congresswoman. And as a member of Congress, she makes it very clear that she is not in that position to fight for all Americans. She is specifically in that position to fight for Somali Americans. She says that she is the Somali representative in the American government, right? L.A. Thorne says she is a fraud, and I must concur with that sentiment. She makes it clear she don't care about nobody but her and the Somali community. But now that the Somali community is under fire, all of a sudden she's black. Go on TikTok. You can see video after video after video of Somalians, some of them black as night. I'm talking about blacker than underneath the bed, saying, I'm Somali, I'm not black. But now that they getting their ass whooped up out of here, now they black. Why the black people won't stand with us? We black, we got to stand in solidarity. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm no xenophobe, racist, or anything like that. But guess what? I'm tired of people trying to identify with black people only when they need help. But when they was stealing $500 million, did they come to the black community and say, hey, y'all want to cut? Hey, I got these plots. I got these moves. Y'all want to join in and get some of this money? No. When they're on top, it's all about them. But the minute they're in trouble, now they want to try to find brotherhood and kinship with us. And I'm not saying I'm like against that 100%. What I'm saying is this: don't try to become brothers and sisters when you down. When Donald Trump eye on you and he whooping y'all socks up out of the country, it's too late to come to Black America trying to connect in brotherhood. Let's be real. Let's be real. It's literally too late. I want you to come try to be a brother when you up. Don't come try to be a brother when you down. Because when y'all was living rent free, when y'all was getting fully furnished apartments, it was just y'all. It's just the Somalis. Now that y'all getting deportante, now we Black. Y'all supposed to stick up for us. Y'all supposed to go intercede on our behalf against Trump. I'm not doing that. As a matter of fact, I helped Trump throw your ass up out of here after the disrespect that we've experienced at y'all hands. This heifer with a do-rag on gonna get on the internet talking about y'all just jealous of Somalia. How the hell I'm gonna be jealous of somebody looking like a ground too, with some ashy ass lips and some ashy ass ankles? Why do you have your hair covered up? You are bald head. What do you Islam say you got to cover the hair? If you have no hair, why are you covering? I'm not buying that. How do you have a superiority complex when you can't even remain in your own land? You have to at least acknowledge that something's wrong. I'm going to ask you one question. Sharia law, what is the punishment for stealing? Dang. Hold on, guys. We have a thing with this camera where it blanks out after 30 minutes, but I have a program that I'm going to download tonight that stops that. So I'm addressing all the issues with this channel. So just understand, there's major work going on, major changes going on. But look, what is the punishment for stealing in Sharia law? Hey, Africulture, I know you up on the Islamic stuff. What is the punishment for stealing under Sharia law? Just answer that for me. I need a Google search. I need somebody to do some quick research. Please tell me, all my wonderful people in the audience, any one of y'all, tell me what is the punishment for stealing under Sharia law. And shout out to all of the 71 people who are in here. Shout out to my people on X. Y'all showing love tonight. It's good to have y'all in here. Tell me what is the punishment for stealing under Sharia law? Because they always say, hey, we have Islam. That's what makes us better. That's why our communities, are better than y'all. We don't have to worry about that. That's a lie. Because I went to the Middle East and saw some pure homosexuals and transgenders, bro. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Thursday night, Howard Johnson, tranny night. But they'll tell you that they don't do that over there. Go to Afghanistan, the little dancing boys of Afghanistan, little boys that they are buying and trading like Pokemon cards to have sex with them. But we don't have that in Islam. This is a lie. They're not bringing any pure culture into this country. They're bringing corruption into this country. And with the Somali community, it was on full display. And it takes place among other communities, but a lot of those communities they're wise to they know how to do it without getting caught, without getting pinched, right? What is the punishment for stealing under Sharia law? How about we just do this? How about we have a Sharia court? Instead of kicking them out, we just punish them based on Sharia law. How about that? I want to know. In the traditional interpretation of Sharia law, the punishment for theft based on the Quran 538, or it's called sarika, is the amputation of the right hand. So let's give them an option. Go back to Somalia, or we cut off your fucking right hand and your foot. Let's just add something else on it to really mess them up. How about we do that? How about we punish them according to their laws? Because they over here stoning women to death for breaking Sharia law. Then they come to America and break the law. I know I got some Muslims in here. Call in. I want to understand how you compartmentalize and do mental gymnastics around that. How many limbs do we get to chop off under Sharia law for $500 million? But what is it? It is what it always is. Rules for thee, but not for me. Or arbitrary application of the rules according to the situation and whether it benefits them or not. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people from other places telling me how shitty I am as an American because they get to hopscotch and move around up under their own set of rules and laws and their system of operation to make it look like they're just better and more perfect than us all. I'm tired of that. I go out the country all the time. I show respect. I don't steal. I damn sure ain't gonna steal from an African. They barely got shit as it is. Can we cut off their right hand if they want to stay in America? That's my only question. If you don't want to lose a limb and you don't get no disability, don't try to drag your ass on one foot and one hand to the Social Security building either. That's why I keep telling y'all, I have no knock against religion, but people need to understand, you tooting your ass up to a different God than me or another person, that doesn't make you any better than anybody. Just because you twerking your ass up to Allah, my nigga, that doesn't mean you're better than me. And that's what it means to be American. Respect everybody, but never, never, ever, even if you rich, you got more money, never ever look at yourself as being better than anybody. We all in this thing together. If you get bombed, I'ma die, you gonna die. Your money ain't gonna protect you from the incineration. Tycoon Twin, how would them going back to Somalia help Black America? I'll tell you one thing, it'll save us $500 million. That's the first one. Do you know how much money $500 million is? For one community is still that much money from a government program? You could send that Haitian Congress lady back too in Florida. She stole $5 million from FEMA. What are you talking? Guys, understand something. We don't need to speculate on the negative impact of illegal criminal. I'm not talking about legal immigrants, legal migrants, bro. If you come here as a legal immigrant and you display a love for America, you're my brother or my sister. But if you come over here to steal from us, you ain't nothing but a low down dirty dog. That's the difference. Illegal, that's why I use the term illegal criminal, alien migrants. Because if you're illegal and you're committing crime, that's the problem. And being illegal is committing a crime. So you're a problem. Understand something. I'm gonna give y'all I'm gonna let y'all in on something. Trump just gave like 500 or 600 million to HBCUs. He just did that earlier this year. If Trump gave HBCUs 500 million, imagine what that means to the economy if Somalis stole 500 million. They stole 500 million. Do you understand that that could have empowered minority communities, made more opportunity zones for the next 20 years? They stole that and sent it back to their country to fund terrorism, the same terrorism that they're running over here to get away from. I've been on the border of Somalia. I've been to Lamu. That's the border between Kenya and Somalia. First thing they tell you, watch out, the Somalians is kidnapping Americans. They don't give a shit about you. When you let them come over here, they said, oh, we got to live. It came over and stole. And they stole it from autistic kids. I mean, most of them look autistic anyway, but they stole it from autistic kids. How you gonna let somebody steal from your kids and then just act like a hoe? Oh, where's the humanity? Where's the common sense and the situational awareness? They let me come over this country. I know we have a tendency to be terroristic, and I'm not gonna steal from them. I'm sorry, but as a immigrant, much of your obligation when you come over here, hustle smart, stupid. As an immigrant, much of your job when you come here is to prove that you have disavowed the shithole that you came from and you now want to be American. I see Chinese people, they love America. Man, my mechanic is French. He'd be like, man, fuck France. I love America. Don't come over here like a Mexican. You ran away from the cartels and poverty. You didn't risk your life to get over here and then get over here just to tie a Mexican flag to your truck like you really about that life. No, you're a little bitch, so you ran from the danger over there to come over here and cut niggas' grass. Don't profess your love for Mexico when you terrified of being there. That's all I'm saying. That's like a nigga bragging about a female who was cheating on him all the time. What? Man? She gave you how many STDs? And you ever talk, yeah, but she was a badass bitch though. What? They got the game messed up, dude. They got the game messed up. There's no anger here. ADOS culture. There's no anger here. ADOS culture. You want to come up and explain it? This is some misplaced anger. The white man buck broke and bred you, bruh, not immigrants. You know what? Thank God the white man bred a nigga. Because guess what? That's how you got LeBron James. That's how you got Henry. What's that dude's name? Derrick Henry. You put back for Ravens. Yeah, you're just mad, you little dirt builder. You're mad. You're mad. You wish the white man bred you. Maybe you'll be able to hold up that AK-47 a little longer so you can win some of them shootouts. These niggas have the audacity. Yeah, he bred me to come to Somalia and take all your women because we know what they really want. Stop playing games, dude. I'm not playing games with you like that. Look, you getting cooked right now. You stole up out of our house. You're gonna get your ass trashed on the internet for a while. The better thing to do would just be to take it and shut up. The better thing to do would be just to shut up. Because you ain't winning no one. Oh, they talking about us. That's a nigga on the internet begging. I'm tired of being in Somalia. Please, Donald Trump, send help. A grown ass man crying. And you think you could say something to me. No, I'm not joining no FBA. If you call yourself FBA, you're an idiot. I'm just a regular black American. Tariq Nasheed is not my daddy. Y'all whooping on the Somalians, but the Somalians is just an easy target because they dumb. They just did something dumb. Typical of East Africans. Lots of pride, very little follow through, very little situational awareness. That's it. I'm more mad as an American. Not even about no damn FBA. How you going to come to our place and steal? We got women and children who need things over here. And you're going to come steal from us. And black Americans are the reason you have an opportunity to be here. And you're going to say, y'all jealous of us. You notice the Somalians, a white man, Donald Trump kicked their ass up out of here, but they're going to blame us. Right. Black American or African American don't have a copyright or trademark. Facts. That's true. That's true. But let me play this video, man, of Ilhan Omar. She's on CNN and she just starts getting cooked. No, I don't care about delineation. Like I said, if you're a legal Somalian immigrant, you my brother. Or if you're a person who even has protected status and you're not stealing and being a thief, you are like my brother or sister. But if you over here stealing and then when you get caught stealing, you trying to disrespect, bro, I gotta cut you. Now I gotta cut you. Ain't nobody jealous of your little dusty ass ankles, dude. Come on, man. Niggas wearing dresses. Talking about somebody jealous of them. That's crazy. That's diabolical. That is diabolical. I got some brothers that's Somalian in Kenya. We work out together all the time. But they ain't like these little thieving Negroes over here. They different. They work for what they want. They ain't stealing from disabled kids.
33 pass back here in California. Minnesota's Democratic leadership is facing mounting.
For whatever reason, we ain't got no sound. Okay, let me see. Okay, real quick. Hold up. We was doing good. Let me see.
Pressure to try and explain how a series of 33 pass back here in California. Minnesota's Democratic leadership is facing mounting pressure to try and explain how a series of alleged fraud schemes cost taxpayers more than $1 billion. There is growing investigations into these cases by the day. Garrett Tenney has the latest from our bureau in the Midwest. Garrett, good morning to you.
Yeah, Bill, good morning to you. We've been reporting all week how that $1 billion figure for how much was stolen could really be just the tip of the iceberg. Well, now we have learned that several of the whistleblowers involved in these cases believe the total amount by the time these investigations are complete could be closer to $8 billion. Prosecutors have described this as an industrial complex of fraud with dozens of businesses set up for the sole purpose of defrauding the state of Minnesota, and that a vast majority of the folks involved came from the Somali community. Governor Tim Walz says the state has now paused those government programs and brought in outside auditors to get a better idea of how far-reaching this fraud was to try to keep it from happening again.
My goal is to make sure that those going.
So this guy who talked all this trash about Donald Trump and Trump's this, Trump's that. So in your state, this guy wanted to be your vice president. I want you all to understand that. This guy wanted to be your vice president. Understand this. And under his leadership in Minnesota, these Somalians then stole $8 billion. You could buy a lot of whatever it is they eat over there with that. What do they eat? Plankton or some type of krill, some type of, they just suck it through their gums? You could buy a lot of that with $8 billion. What? No one even knows what Somalian people eat, bruh. Beef jerky. These do $8 billion. $8 billion. Trump could never give out $2,000 stimmy checks again. Yeah, he can't. Look at how much look how much the people that Joe Biden, them led in this country is taking. America is a rich, wealthy, prosperous nation. We could afford to do anything we want. But when you allow people to come into the country who have no intention other than to screw you over and steal from you, yeah, it greatly limits your ability. It greatly inhibits your fiscal mobility. You're going to tell them, we got so much wealth, we should just be like, hey, we want everybody to get $2,000 checks, even the kids, and we should be able to do that. It should be like a rich family at Christmas. Everybody gets something good. We struggle. We struggle to provide for our own because we let people come over here and steal from us. And got too many Americans in this country just ready to be cucks. Yeah, let them steal. Humanity. No one's illegal on stolen land. Shit. I'm telling you, we should punish them according to Sharia law. Let's use their law to decide what punishment they're going to get. They're going to be walking around with nubs in this bitch, looking like a praying mantis. Nothing. Ha, gone. They don't want that. They don't want to live. They don't want to be judged by the rules that they judge everybody else on. Let's keep going with this, y'all.
Forward, have much better tools, much more safeguards around programs to be clear that improve people's lives, that help, whether it's children with autism, whether it's childcare, whether it's housing, whether it's food, nutrition. And those things are absolutely paramount. And if folks are going to commit crimes here, thinking because our generous spirit and our programs that we have is going to give them some kind of cover, they are sadly mistaken.
Walz maintains that as soon as any of these fraud issues were raised, they were looked into by the state. But whistleblowers allegedly claim that the concerns over fraud in these programs were repeatedly raised to both Walz and other state officials who dismissed them and then even retaliated against the whistleblowers for raising the concerns. State Republican lawmakers say all of these federal investigations that are now happening will finally bring light to an issue that has been ignored for years.
Are some very strong allegations against the administration. And I guess you could look at it like this. Either the Walz administration is incredibly incompetent or they're complicit. At this point, I don't see how you see it any other way.
DHS has dubbed its new ICE operation in the Twin Cities is Operation Metro Surge. And in its first 3 days, the agency says it has made at least 12 arrests, including 5 Somali individuals, several with previous convictions for fraud. Bill?
I imagine we'll be hearing more about this very soon. Garrett Tenney, thank you watching that story for us today out of Chicago. Thanks.
Okay, so the Small Business Administration is launching its own investigation now into the massive Minnesota fraud scheme. And SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler is announcing, quote, despite Governor Walz's best efforts to obstruct, SBA continues to work to expose abuse and hold perpetrators accountable, full stop. She is here with me now in studio live. Thank you so much and good morning. Good to see you.
Aisha.
I know you're digging into this. We remember hearing about stories of fraud with all of this COVID-free money that was given away, especially during the Biden administration when the Democrats were in power. Talk to me about how this is different, because I don't think it's that easy to commit fraud. I mean, someone has to be explaining to these people how you do it.
That's right, Aisha. This looks like a complex scheme that was set up to defraud taxpayers, our federal government, of needed funds that would have gone out during COVID for hungry families, for children, for small businesses. And so when I first heard of the billion-dollar corruption, my mind immediately went to PPP. And I said from day one when I came in, it's a new day at the SBA. We are going to crack down on the fraud that the Biden administration completely overlooked, swept under the rug for 4 years. And it wasn't that hard. Within 48 hours, we already found $1 million worth of fraud within the Minnesota Somali crime network. And we're going to continue to investigate and work with our federal law enforcement partners.
Listen, I want y'all to understand something. Tim Walz knew everything that was going on in that state. He knew everything that was going on in that state. And if you don't think Tim Walz knew it, you just a fool. If you don't believe he knew it, you're just gullible. Let me help you understand how this worked. Give me a 1 in the comments if you with me, just so I know y'all listening. They steal the money. They make millions and millions of dollars off of stealing. They turn around and donate that money to the politicians who turn a blind eye while they steal. Guys, does anyone wonder how Kamala Harris raised the most money for a presidential campaign in the history of elections, yet she couldn't string a sentence together? Does anyone wonder why she chose a running mate from the state of Minnesota, an absolute goober, Tim Walz? That's where all the money was coming from. Think about it. Think about it. Listen, there's one thing people do when they choose vice presidents and stuff. They go by how much money can this person raise to contribute to the overall campaign. Tim Walz that state probably put millions and millions of dollars into Kamala Harris's campaign. Why? Because they needed Biden's reign of ignorance to continue. Because it allowed them to steal what some people are saying could be as much as $8 billion. Imagine how much they would have stole with 4 more years of Biden presidency just under Kamala Harris. Imagine how much more they would have stole. These people got over on America. And that is why it is time for them to go. There's no negotiating. There is no negotiating. There is no time. There is no time to try to, oh, well, let's see which ones are good and let's see which ones are bad. There's no more time for that. Donald Trump spoke out about this community. They felt offended. They felt offended by that. They felt they were in position to go at the president of the United States of America. They thought they was hot shit, right? And guess what? You played a stupid game, you win a stupid prize. They thought it was funny. They thought it was funny. Ilhan Omar knew all this stuff was going on. Ilhan Omar knew this stuff was going on, and she thought she was getting away, like my granny say, like a fat rat. She was stealing your money, your American taxpayer dollars, and laughing in your face. I got your money, punk, but I ain't gonna give it to you. Ain't nothing you gonna do about it. And then when Trump did something about it, she cried, this rhetoric is dangerous. She really thought she was gonna get away with this. They thought they had already gotten away with it.
Our money that we don't have a clue where it's at. This is Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, and she was on the other day on another network claiming that the fraud got out of control because this program via the government didn't have the right guardrails. Watch.
Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
I think what happened is that, you know, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
Let you take a bite at that.
Well, that word salad cannot distract from the fact that this is exactly what the democratic socialist welfare state is. It's massive fraud where officials look the other way, enrich themselves for it, and then hardworking Minnesotans, hardworking Americans pay for it in the form of taxes, and they have their benefits taken away from them on their backs. So this is why we're cracking down. We're drawing a line and saying you will never get government benefits again when you defraud the government.
You know, on that note, Kim Strassel wrote a great piece in the Wall Street Journal. This is her column about the lesson in this Minnesota fraud scheme. She writes, we need to move many people off government dependency, not just for moral and societal reasons, but because government has an obligation to taxpayers and to the truly needy to right size and return to a system that can function. What do you think of that?
Well, Kim's exactly right. And I think one of the interesting things about the Democrat shutdown that hurt families and small businesses for the last 43 days was the exposure of how broad the welfare state is. And that's why the working families tax cut is so important. It includes work requirements for receiving welfare. And we have to reform welfare because it's going to be paid for on the backs of hardworking Americans if we don't. And that.
Now, I want people to understand the welfare recipients, you know what I'm saying, the swap meet recipients, as I call them, they are going to blame Donald Trump for this situation, right? Oh, Trump is evil. He's racist. The white man, the orange man is bad, right? But what they're not going to do is blame the people who defrauded the system so much that the government had to place work requirements on the system to keep people from coming to this country and just feeling like they had a piggy bank that they could loot in the American welfare system. Understand that. Y'all voted for these people y'all chose to vote for people who let these people come across the border unimpeded. Y'all vote for these liberal policies and no one's a criminal on stolen land or illegal and all this stuff. You guys did it to yourselves. You guys did it to yourselves. And let me tell you something. You got the Muslims and stuff. They be on their high horse, oh Allah and all that. That's cool. That's cool. Here's the thing. How else are you going to get a 5 times a day praying Muslim to support the transgender and LGBTQ agenda by giving them money. And when you say giving someone money, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to hand them some money. It could mean that you're just going to turn a blind eye to clear theft, obvious theft. That's why so many people support these ridiculous policies. Think about it. Think about it. The only, like, when someone supports something that actually hurts them, you know that they're getting some type of they're being incentivized in secret. There's some type of incentive that's not on the surface that is being offered to them or that has been presented to them that makes them vote against their own best interest. How do you get God-fearing individuals, men, to support a candidate who wants to put grown men in bathrooms with little girls? You pay them. You pay them. You say, look, it won't matter if this happens because by the time it goes into effect, you'll be so rich, you'll never have to deal with that situation. All these people that you see supporting this nonsense, they have been incentivized to do so. And a lot of it has to do with these different elected officials turning the blind eye to clear and obvious fraud, waste, and abuse. That's why they were so mad about Doge. That is why they were so mad about Doge. That's why they were so mad when Donald Trump brought Elon Musk in to find waste, fraud, and abuse. This goes all the way to the top. You guys think Soros is donating these billions and billions? Hold on. Y'all think Soros is donating these billions and billions of dollars to these campaigns and stuff? He's not. They're stealing it. They're using American taxpayer money to fund their political campaigns. But they're just creating a long, winding road trail that as long as they are in power, you will never be able to follow to the end. They didn't expect Trump to get into office and start going so hard on waste, fraud, and abuse. They thought, okay, yeah, he might deport some people. They don't care about deportations because once they take back the White House, they could just let all those people back in. They need to cover up the money, the theft, the theft ring. That's what they were really worried about hiding. They needed to cover up the theft because that is how they are going to attempt to stay in power. Yeah, they hated big balls. That's for sure. Guys, listen, thank you so much for joining me for this segment right here. We have another topic that we're going to discuss. We got a couple of topics. You guys are contributing. I appreciate that. When you guys contribute like that, it gives me an excuse to stay on even longer. So keep contributing. I'm getting to the super chats in the next few minutes here. We have another topic that we're going to discuss, and it is where this woman encouraged her son to shoot. I guess they was in the hood. I guess they were in the hood, and this woman, her son gets in a fight with another boy. This woman apparently encouraged her son to shoot at this other boy after they had a fight. I don't know who does this. I don't know why people operate like this. You know, I don't know what they think they're going to accomplish by what are they trying to prove with this type of animalistic behavior. But listen, I might not be able to stop it, but I damn sure can call it out. And that's exactly what I plan to keep on doing. Hell, why not? Let's tap in.
Ma'am, don't go over there. I ain't backing up. I ain't backing up.
Back up.
This is my girl.
Back him up. Back up. Back up.
Take over the judge's daughter.
Tension ran high as officers tried to navigate a shooting in a residential complex where a little girl named Amara had shot 41-year-old Bones before retreating to hide inside her own apartment while neighbors demanded that the officers shoot her.
I will punch you, bro. I will punch you.
What the heck?
What was about to happen would require the deployment of an overwhelming number of officers to control the chaos at what was supposed to be a peaceful Memorial Day celebration.
All right, I need you guys to back up.
Come on, bro.
Quick.
Ma'am, I got a the Bravo cross shot gunman shot wound to the head.
We're not moving.
Where did the offender go? He that shot her. Where? I don't know where she went.
Bone, talk to me. Hey, Bone, here, Bone. Bone, talk to me, bro. Hey, here. Talk, Bone. Bone. Come on, Bone, bro. Come on, bro. Talk.
Where's she shot at?
She shot right down the chin.
Hey, come on, man. Talk. Man, come on, Bone. Come on, Bone, talk.
Which apartment?
This apartment right here.
Okay, back up.
Wow.
This one here?
Yeah, this right here.
Wow, dude, so
Daddy! Doors! About 39 with a possible suspect, probably 205. It says the possible suspect. They said it's a 10-year-old little girl did it. They said she's in this apartment. Let Sarge know. Kyle, take the front.
What do you guys have? I don't get into it. What do you guys have?
The girl, they said the girl had the gun and she shot her. Now she's on it. I ran because I thought I heard.
So she's in there?
Yeah, the girl ran into the
You
house.
saw her run in there?
They said she ran into the house. What do you need, bro? They say over here that
I just heard the gunshot as I'm meeting my friend.
See what happened?
I'm gonna show y'all the 10-year-old girl. So yeah, this is crazy.
So I messed up on the title. Apparently, this is a little girl who shot this dude. So I guess they was out there fighting, and then the girl mama gave her a gun and told her to shoot somebody. I don't think it was the person she was fighting with, because that would clearly be another girl. But the person who ended up getting shot is a guy, which is absolutely crazy. But this is, you can't even be out here fighting nobody no more. These people giving they kids blick, and the kids is letting off.
Whoa. Is this in Chicago? Nah, this sounds like Florida. From the accent. Yeah, to hear. Yeah, this is pretty bad, guys. So apparently the mother and the lady named Bone killed this lady. Wow, that's tough.
Hello?
Sir, she's breathing. You can't give her CPR. She's breathing. You can't hurt her.
What you doing? Go away.
You didn't even tell him.
Oh, I'm totally wrong. She shot another little girl. What? I thought she might have shot a relative or a dude who was trying to like press her while she was fighting this girl. She shot another little girl, bro. You did not think your life was in that much danger fighting with another little girl to the point where you had to shoot this girl and got her laid out. And then in the ultimate display of ignorance, the girl is breathing and this fool's still trying to perform CPR on her. Come on, man. We got to do better than this. We got to do better than this. This is ridiculous.
Wow, you trying to do CPR and you what you're doing? Hello? Yes, I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't.
You can't know what you're doing.
Did you see what happened, sir?
No, I didn't see what happened.
Did anybody see?
Boy was out there pushing on her.
Come on, Bone. Come on, Bone.
Making it worse.
So she shot, okay, so somebody's telling me she shot a grown woman. Either way. So Bone is a grown woman who was fighting her mother, bro. Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay. Are you saying that it was okay for her to shoot this lady? That's why I love doing this stuff live, because you will understand it's a lot of like mentally disturbed Black folks who think stuff like this is cool. If the lady was fighting her, your mother is a grown woman. Let her do her dirty work. Why is the little girl shooting a grown woman who trying to fight her mama? Because the mama is not the one that's going to go to jail. It's going to be the little girl. Y'all having a fist fight. Why is their guns being pulled out? In one of the poorest communities in America. Okay, I'm just asking. That's why I asked. I didn't try to go off on you. I just want to clarify. Okay, Bone is the grown woman who got shot, who was trying to fight the mama, but yet and still the mama was pushing this little girl up to shoot somebody after who was trying to fight her. That's some cowardly stuff.
She like, I love you. Man, come on, what you doing? Come on, Bone, get up, Bone. Come on, man.
Oh, man, shut up.
Hey, what y'all doing? You talking to me?
You gotta be a damn fool. See, and when you look at these communities, look at the type of men who are prevalent in these communities. It's never nobody with sense in, the sense of dog guy. He talking about, come on, Bone, get up. Boy, she been shot. She's been shot, bro. What do you expect her to do? Raise up like Jesus? Just touched her? You want to raise up like the damn Walking Dead and start walking around? She got shot. Back your stinky breath ass up and let her get a chance to gather herself. The police and the paramedics, they're going to know more of what to do than you are. You over here trying to give her CPR and she already breathing. I can't stand dudes like that. I can't stand a grown-ass man who loses his head in a tense situation.
Revival.
Get her
She's shot. Hey, Doris, go ahead. Move them back. Help him. Luigi, watch that part right there. It says spots where that shot him and she's in the apartment. How do y'all know it's her?
So they said it. They just said it was.
Hey, crowd control. Crowd control.
Amidst the commotion, officers were trying to understand what had led to the shooting, while the neighbors grew increasingly angry as there was still no ambulance in sight. And Lashan, also known as Bones, was losing blood with every passing second.
Did anybody see where whoever shot her went?
I don't know if she went, but she's over here in the palms, though.
Okay. Do we know who shot her?
Yeah, the little girl shot her.
You know who she was?
I don't know the little girl name. Okay. What's the
Do you know where she stayed?
Man, revive her, bro.
Y'all not even doing nothing. What is you doing? What are we gonna do? We're trying to figure out where the suspect is.
What about her? Get her.
What?
What, do something, bro? That's my baby.
Stop. She's breathing.
Stupid.
We're waiting for the paramedics.
So did you get in person, lady?
That's what we're trying to find out. Just back up. Just back up.
Just shot my baby, man, for nothing.
I'm making it worse, bro.
Man, y'all worried about the sick man, CPR. Hey, Bone.
Hey, back up. Back up. We're working. Ambulance is coming. Back up. Hey, back up.
Bro, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay, you don't gotta touch me though.
Back up.
You ain't gotta touch me though.
Back up.
Hey, man. Please do not walk in front of me. Thank you.
That's my baby. Crazy? Are you crazy, bro?
Hey, sir, can you don't touch me, man?
I'm not so worried about being touched. You got touching this person.
I ain't backing up.
Back up.
This is my girl. You got me.
Hey, bro, stay woke.
Where is the
How much did it shot my baby? Beat him.
Getting amped up.
They shot my baby. I don't give a damn. What you say?
Hang on, ma'am. Hang on, ma'am.
Where she came from?
Watch that.
Hey, I see why black people make such good actors and actresses, bruh. These people, this girl, your mama done got shot. You see all these cop cars, all these police officers, all these folks standing outside hollering. You come gotta be 30 minutes later screaming, what happened to my mama? Like, that's about to help the situation. You got bro, boom. If y'all feel that concerned, why y'all don't pick her up and drive her to the hospital? Black folks, we got to do better. If you were that concerned about this woman bleeding out and stuff, why are you still waiting for the ambulance? Is there something preventing you from doing what the ambulance would do, which is pick her ass up, carry her to the car, throw her in the back, and drive her to the hospital? At that point, it seems like she would have a better chance at survival than just laying there bleeding out. Hey, look, officer, fuck what y'all talking about. We about to get her to the hospital. Somebody over there got a car. By now, you could have threw some blankets or something in the back to keep the blood from getting all over your car and took her yourself. Nah, we gonna sit up here hooping and hollering like a bunch of damn monkeys just so we can let people know that we're really sad. You don't gotta let people know that you're sad about your relative getting shot. What you gotta do is stop being ignorant and do something about it if you feel like they're not doing anything about it. But these the black folks who say, we gonna go to war with white supremacy. How? You got someone laid up, shot, and you don't even know to get them you're not even thinking to get them to the closest hospital. You waiting on an ambulance to come from God knows where to pick this lady up and do something that you could do in 5 minutes. Get her in a car and drive her ass to the hospital. You could have told the cops, hey, look, man, y'all just escort us. We going to get her in a car and get her to the hospital. There's no law saying that you can't move your own a victim of a gunshot if that's your people. But they just out here screaming. They just out here, and like I said, it's all, listen, Pookie and Ray Ray are the black woman is the queen of the ghetto. But Pookie and Ray Ray don't make it no better. There's a bunch of men around. They've probably witnessed people getting shot before, but they are so totally dependent on the white man that they don't, common sense takes a back seat to the reliance on other groups of people to take care of you. If I'm shot and I am bleeding out and the cops are sitting around, they don't give a damn. That ain't they people. Hey, dude, they just trying to make it in time for dinner or breakfast or whatever they're going to do. Do you think I need the police to say, hey, we going to put her in an ambulance? I'm going to be like, no, dude. We've been waiting for the ambulance 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes too long. We dragging her. We getting her in a car. We getting her to the hospital. Y'all could either give us an escort or y'all could give high-speed chase while we drive her to the hospital. Come on, man. Y'all, these dudes is tripping. All that hooping and hollering. Ain't doing nothing. You that mad, go bust the damn door down.
She's not dead. She's not dead. Where's the ambulance? Just shut.
Real quick. Ambulance is taking a little minute though. Yeah.
Man, I don't give a damn about how long the ambulance taking. The ambulance taking a little minute, right? Well, why y'all ain't pick her up and take her yourself? That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying you got to be Jean-Claude Van Damme or nothing, but I'm saying at what point do you say, damn, at what point does self-reliance kick in? Are we that gone as a group of people to where we just lost all sight of self-reliance? We can't even do anything unless the white man initiates the procedures? That's crazy. I bet you if that was a white person kid, they would have said, F this shit. I'm getting my own kid or my own wife to the hospital. Y'all said, where the ambulance? Don't matter where it is. Does she need to get to the hospital or not?
I said, take her to the house. So let's move her. How about y'all go inside?
That would make me feel better. Actually, if I'm on the ground shot and I hear all this yelling,
it might make her more panicking, making her heart race. Yeah. It's like all type of things. I know the emotions are high, but nobody's making it better at all. You also got to think, though, ambulance don't just be riding around like police. Police get called, I'm already on the move. Ambulance at the hospital. Yeah, they got to get in. If they 10, 15 minutes. And it has been 6 minutes. It just seems a long time because it's like a video, but
She woke.
Bro.
Hey, Bone.
Hold him back.
Hey, yo, this shot, my baby. This shot. This shot.
Back him up. Back up. Back up.
The governor just told her. Chris, I told her, shot it. Just shot her. Shot, she gave her the gun.
Back up. It's not going to do anything. Ambulance is on their way.
They need to get here.
Back up,
It's not
boy.
being on the way.
They're on the way.
What, they need to fly? They need to come. No. Let my baby here. Let my baby lay here.
They need to back up. Back up.
What are you gonna do?
That's my girl. I don't care. That's my girl.
She's not breathing no more. That's why he's
They need space. Give them space.
Look at this.
Stop touching me. Get out of the way.
It's making me mad. Arresting, bro.
Stand back. Back up.
Look at
They
this
need
boy.
space. We're trying to help. Guys, we didn't do it.
Back up. Stay back.
Don't touch me, bro.
Stay back.
You know what? Last thing I'm gonna say. Do you know why that they're acting like this? Even though the police are there to help and not get any of them in trouble, because
Take the gun
the
out of her.
culture in the culture, black people are taught that the police are your enemy, no matter what. They're not taught that the police are here to help you and to keep you safe. They are taught this is the enemy. So when the enemy comes, they're acting accordingly. That is the issue. That is why they're acting like that. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Not listening to them doing this, doing that.
Well,
because you're taught this is the enemy from birth.
Well, one of them is a junkie. Two of them is a junkie.
But you heard a couple of the women in the back saying, let them do their job. Step back, let them do their job.
IQ.
Those are the regularly functioning humans here.
IQ level. You're sniffing IQ levels out here on the.
So here's the mother right here. Let's see the police go in and grab her of the child that's shot.
You know, I disagree with them when they're just saying, oh, it's IQ and all this stuff. It's single mother syndrome. It doesn't matter what's happening. All you can, as long as it's a tough situation, you have the right to act hysterically. These are men raised by, this is generational single mother syndrome. A bunch of men acting more hyper emotional than the females. Don't touch me. You need to call all this stuff. Bro, I've only seen women behave like that. Like, I've seen men do it too. But I've only seen men who just never had a father in their life or nothing. Men go to war and watch their comrades die right next to them. Not one of these dudes starts screaming and trying to fight the whole platoon. He like, shit, we lost Tibbs or whatever, right? These are men who are dealing with generational single mother syndrome, where you just acting hyper emotional, totally irrational. Nothing you're doing is helping the situation. But you're doing it because you, listen, I've been black for a long time. And I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you agree with me. I want you to put a 2 if you don't agree with me. Black people are unmatched when it comes to making every situation about them, rather than letting it be about the person who it's supposed to be about. They all have to get their dose of the attention surrounding what's the girl name? Bone, her getting shot. Bone, the one laid up shot. Why are you trying to make Bone movie about you? And I see those ones coming in. It's true. Black people, there's one thing on this earth that black people value more than life itself: attention. Attention. A nigga die to get some attention, bro. Y'all remember all them black people doing that milk crate challenge? They saw niggas falling, breaking their back, breaking their neck and all that. They still did it. That is worth more to African Americans than life itself. Bone laid up shot. They see somebody with a body camera, and it's showtime. It's showtime. They Amos and Andy. They up there shaking ass, tap dancing, and soft shoeing because they got to make it about them. Every black person who was within 5 feet of that situation took a moment of those officers' time in attempt to make Bone getting shot more about them than it was about Bone getting shot. We've been dealing with this our whole lives. We know it's true. We don't care if she died. Look what black people watch on the internet. They ain't worried about her dying. They worried about whether or not people know how sad they are about her potentially dying. The dude screaming, yeah, they killed my baby. They killed my baby. Bro, she's not even dead, bro. Look, the daughter, she ran out there for a hot 3 seconds screaming. That's where she at. She gone. She was out there all of 1 minute hooping and hollering. It's almost like they told her to enter stage right. She runs out there, does her little vaudeville minstrel act, and now she's gone. It's sad, bro. It's sad. This girl can't even lay there and die in peace or get saved or whatever without all these people who are supposed to care about her trying to make her getting shot about them more than it's about her. That's all I'm going to say about that mess. That pissed me off. And if you're black, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's got to be more about us than it is about the person who actually got their ass shot. It's sad. It's a sad situation. That little girl and her mama both need to be in a cell right next to each other. They need to be in a cell right next to each other so they can't hurt nobody but themselves. But dude, I'm telling you, with relatives, friends, and family like that, who needs enemies? Dang, I don't know why I keep getting fruit flies in this house. Let's set one of those fruit fly traps. Main character syndrome. Perfectly put, 305 Grand Champ. Perfectly put. Is 305 the Florida area code? Because you might know more about it than anybody. You got to be over there with these hooping and hollering Negroes. She can't grieve. She's not even dead. Son Goku, she can't grieve. The woman was still living. What is you grieving? The woman's still breathing. She laying there breathing. Most likely, she's going to live if you keep pressure on the wound. Let's get these super chats. Shout out to the channel. This is the new brand. Hey, shout out to Sucker Season Clothing. Sucker Season Clothing is officially launched. Next show, or with the CEO of Sucker Season, if he's in the building, can you please share the link to the website? Share it to me. I can share it to the platform, or you can just share it to the platform. Please share the link. Sucker Season Clothing has officially launched. Please go to the website, cop some merch. Definitely quality apparel. I've had the honor of I've been blessed with a couple of items. Wonderful stuff. And I'm honestly waiting until I get another big get on another major channel for a debate or interview, and I'm going to be rocking my Sucker Season Clothing. So please show love to the brand. My boy LA Thorn the Martian. Brandon, look up Bacha Bazi, which is those boys in Afghanistan. They know what it is. I can't look that up. That's immediately getting me flagged. That's immediately giving me flag. Y'all just go look up the Dancing Boys of Afghanistan. You want to know what they really standing on out there? Go look up the Dancing Boys of Islamabad. No, of Afghanistan. Shout out to Sucker Season Clothing again. We got to catch up and grab some tea, bro. 100% tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. Cash show. Let's link. Bro, Son Goku, you're acting like you're missing the point. You're acting like she's not allowed to do that. Yeah, it's not helping. If someone's alive, what is running out there screaming gonna do? You guys don't understand. When someone has been shot, that's a stressful situation for them. So if you out here screaming, one person screaming, they didn't kill my baby. You know, if you get shot, some people get shot, they land there, wonder if they even alive. Am I dead? Is this me hovering over my own body, looking down at myself? If you got some idiot out there screaming, they didn't kill my baby, is that making you want to fight to live? Or is that making you say, look, I'm already dead, man. I might as well just let it go. Let it happen. Come on, man. We can't be this ignorant now. And though I know many of us are, but we got to be better. We have to be better. So, guys, I want to do one more topic. Give me a 1 in the comments if I could do one more topic. I haven't researched this topic. Shout out to 305 Grand Champ for the $50 super chat. Y'all definitely get another topic now. Just showing love. Keep going. Salute to the channel. We definitely are. Hey, guys, how are you liking this display? Hey, it's looking good. I watched it while the video was playing. I watched it on the cell phone. Y'all, we in the kitchen right now. Y'all can see the faucet just in case I get thirsty. I'm right there by the sink. But just let me know. Give me a 1 if you're loving this display. Give me a 1 if you recognize the difference, the upgrade in quality. I just want to let y'all know everything I get so far with super chats and stuff, I'm just reinvesting it back in the channel, family. Like, that's what you got to do. You just got to invest in the business. Like I told my boy TF3 today, I said some people gonna stand on business. The other people gonna lie and just fold to peer pressure. I don't do that. All right, thank y'all. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Makes me want to invest even more, man. But thank you so much. But there's another topic I want to discuss. Have you guys heard about the situation with the black dude with the pipe bomb on January 6th, where they tried to say, first they tried to say it was a white nationalist. Then they tried to say it was a female. And the whole time it was Tyrone, I didn't do nothing Smith, trying to explode a pipe bomb on January 6th. Talking about he thought that the 2020 election. Hold on real quick. Talking about he thought that the 2020 election or something had been rigged. I don't even know the details, but if you guys will allow it, I would like to go over it with you guys watching. I don't know the details. I'm not gonna lie to you and act like I'm well researched on this, but there's no reason why we can't just learn about it together. So let me find it. Hold on. Okay, so breaking. January 6th pipe bomb suspect has been arrested. So I'm just now getting into this. You all probably know more about it than I do. And if you do, feel free to share. But we're going to tap into this right now.
So back with the Fox News alert. Listen up. The FBI is arresting the person suspected of planting pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC's headquarters in Washington back in 2021. That the night before the Capitol riots, January 6th. David Spunt joins us live from D.C. with the latest. David.
Well, Brian, this is a big one. This is almost 5 years in the making. You remember this happened on January 5th, 2021, the night before the Capitol was under attack on January 6, 2021. A person who was completely covered in clothes, in a sweatshirt, a hoodie, mask, gloves, you name it, placed pipe bombs outside both the DNC, Democratic National Committee headquarters, and the RNC, Republican National Committee headquarters. We don't know the suspect's name or anything else about the person at this time. We're told that will likely change as the day moves on, but we can say this was a male that was living in the Northern Virginia area outside of Washington, D.C., and this arrest was made by the FBI and other federal authorities here within the last hour or 90 minutes or so. Just this past October, the FBI put out enhanced video of this masked suspect planting these pipe bombs on this bench outside the RNC and then the DNC. Now, this was, again, the night before the Capitol attack. Now, according to authorities, the suspect, they believe, was 5'7", using some technology where they could measure based on the video. The person wore a hooded sweatshirt, glasses, and gloves. We'll see if that rings true once we get an identity. Agents say that these bombs, Brian, were placed between 7:30 and 8:30 at night. It's important to note the bombs did not detonate, but they were viable and discovered the next day. Over the past almost 5 years, agents visited 1,200 homes, businesses, conducted more than 1,000 interviews, reviewed approximately 39,000 video files, going through 600 tips or so. And there was a reward, everyone, for $500,000 leading to this arrest. Of course, that'll be a question we're expecting to hear from authorities later today involved in this investigation to see if someone did indeed tip off authorities and may be eligible for that $500,000 reward. So a lot of questions. We want to know the name. We want to know much more about this. But this is something that's been plaguing Washington, D.C. and many across the country for almost 5 years now, guys.
Man, I'm telling you right now, call me a conspiracy theorist and all this. This dude planted pipe bombs on January 5th, 2021. They're not catching this dude until December 4th of 2025. He planted the bombs under the Biden administration, and they're not catching them until Trump is in office. Bruh, I just have this strong feeling like Democrats be wanting stuff like that to happen. They probably knew exactly who that guy was and let him remain free, hoping that he would do something even more ridiculous under Biden. And then Biden could say, oh, yeah, that was a Trump supporter, and the Democrats walked into the White House on the next election. Guys, listen, this is all allegedly. None of this is, none of this is verified fact or anything like that. But I seriously feel like the Democrat Party prays that bad things happen. I feel like they pray that bad things happen so they could blame it on the Republicans and scare their base into voting Democrat or blue no matter who. We already know that the liberal side of the country, they're already totally brainwashed on fear-based programming. At this point, they're just looking for something to be afraid of. What keeps it, man? Listen, how was this dude allowed to walk free for damn near 5 years, the whole Biden presidency? Bro, they was waiting for that to happen. It's just like the dude who shot up the grocery store in Buffalo, New York. The FBI and them boys knew that stuff was going to happen. They said they knew. They knew he had been planning a mass shooting in a black neighborhood in New York. This stuff is not a coincidence, guys. I feel like they are allowing dangerous people who they know may be mentally disturbed or whatever, who may have made it public that they want to do some type of, mass attack. I believe they are letting them walk free purposely because the violence, the bloodshed, the death, they can market that in, they can parlay that into political power. Do you know how, if that dude would have launched another bomb right before the end of the election, you know how quickly Biden and them could have used that? Can you please just lift that up? Dragging that is making more noise. Thank you. But anyway, they can parlay that into political power. A bomb goes off 2 weeks before the election. If they get out in front of the camera and say, we know this one of those Trump deranged MAGA, we know that's one of these MAGA white supremacists, everyone's gonna believe it before they find out the facts. Everyone will believe it, vote, and then 2 months down the line, oh, bro is actually black. Oh well, and keep on going. S. Young is giving us some info. Pam Bondi already said that the information was available, that all that information was available while Biden was in office. I know it was. These people, dude, I'm telling you, these people are diabolical. It's just like with the Summer of Love, how they let them people burn down all them cities. They did that on purpose. They blocked Donald Trump from sending the National Guard in so that the media could get the could get film of the carnage. And people see that and say, oh man, that's scary. Yeah, this happened under Trump. The Democrats are playing a dirty game, man. They just tried to starve women and children all over America in an attempt to take hold of power and win the midterm elections. This is bad, man. And I'm telling you, people keep supporting this. Do not be surprised if you support this mess and this becomes, the status quo. Do not be surprised if you're supporting this mess and it ends up hurting you or impacting you.
I'm looking at FBI.gov, and just one other fact about this individual. He was wearing Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes. They're black and gray with yellow Nike logos. There are fewer than 25,000 pairs of these shoes that were sold over a 3-year period. So it's these little details that can make the breakthrough in a case. Unclear if that was the detail, but those are the kinds of things these investigators were looking at.
That's exactly right. And the FBI did put some video. It was a computer image of a 360-degree view of those Nikes on their website. And we've done countless stories over the last almost 5 years showing those. And that was a rare shoe, but it was difficult for authorities. And
okay, so they done got bro based on his Air Maxes. The shoes, there were so few of the shoes sold, they basically were able to go through the process of elimination. From what I'm hearing, it seems like they were able to go through the process of elimination by tracking the shoe sales and find, hey, that's crazy, man. Bro, no, listen, bro, I don't know. They say this dude is black, but I doubt it now. Because every black person knows if you're going to commit a crime, wear some black forces. It's been billions of those sold. They'll never find you.
We're obviously going to learn a lot more. And I think there was some frustration. This is something that spanned the FBI under Christopher Wray, now Kash Patel. When Director Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino came on board earlier this year, they talked about this case openly and said that they wanted to find out who this person was. Bongino, in fact, said when he was a private citizen on his podcast before he came into the FBI, he believed that it was an inside job. We want to see who this person is. We want to know what the connections are. We just know this was a male that was living in Northern Virginia, taken into custody in the last hour or so. And we're going to be getting some of those updates from authorities a little bit later today. And we suspect we'll hear from Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, maybe the Deputy FBI Director Bongino, and others. Kaylee.
So, David, Brian and I had a source a few months back that told us that they were close in this investigation. Shortly after that, they released the imaging. There's really not much in the imaging that...
Man, they knew who this dude was. I'm with Dan Bongino. This was an inside job. They wanted this to... Listen, they probably wanted these damn pipe bombs to go off during this January 6th riots so they could then say it was an insurrection. I mean, I'm not saying I know this for a fact, guys, but put two and two together. If those bombs would have went off on January 6th, it would have been an open and shut case for the Democrats saying, oh, Trump led an insurrection. He's banned from running for office again. All those January 6th protesters and rioters would be in prison for the rest of their life, damn near. And the Democrats would have waltzed into re-election. Biden would have slept his way into re-election. But they're setting shit up. The Democrat Party, in my opinion, is running plays, man. I think they've lost all sense of morality. I think they are totally detached from like their what is supposed to be their purpose of being in leadership, which is to represent the American people and operate in a way that promotes the well-being and continued prosperity and progress of the American people. They don't care about that. They're like, if we get the power, the corporations give us the money. And I think they've lost sight of what it means to be in the leadership or administrative class of America. And bro is probably autistic. Bro probably somebody who can't even really communicate what's going on. I'm telling you, I feel like they search these people out on the internet. They lure these people into conversations online. They teach these people how to prepare for attacks like this, tell them what they need, send them out like Manchurian candidates, and just wait for the switch to flip, and boom, you have a mass shooting or a mass killing. I'm sorry, man. This stuff the coincidences are becoming too common. This is ridiculous.
They released. Do you have any idea from your sources what turned this investigation to an arrest?
We want to know the answer to that. We don't know specifically, but you're right. We've heard the same thing with our sources, Lawrence, that they have been slowly closing in over time on somebody. The question is, could it have been the $500,000 reward money? We know that via sources that this person had been watched for several days, which is typical from the FBI or other agents, marshals, to watch someone before they go in and make an arrest. And they made their arrest. And it's so important that these members of law enforcement can do what they need to do, and these arrests don't get botched at all in any way. So this was very, very close hold, as we call it here in Washington, before this happened today. But now this person is in custody. But
man, we're living in some dangerous times, y'all. But always remember, man, just be careful what you wish for. We got a lot of people supporting these people. And these people got a lot of support. These people have a lot of support. The Democrats had 70-something million people vote for this. They know. You think these people don't know what their party is doing? They know. They don't care. They don't care what happens as long as their team wins. America used to be about all of us coming together to create a better America. Now it's my team versus your team. Cowboys versus the Redskins type crap. It's ridiculous. And it's putting us all in danger. And a lot of people don't understand, and they won't understand until they're touched by it. Then they're going to say, hold on. This is getting out of hand. But I'm sorry, the reality is, by then it's probably going to be too late. By then it is probably going to be too late. Sorry to say. Because people think stuff is a game. They think stuff is a game. I got people on social media. They're sending me stuff. Oh, yeah, this sounds like Trump and stuff. And I could just ask them, okay, give me some evidence of what you're saying. Oh, we all know that this is the case. And I'm like, okay, so you have no evidence, but the TV told you that this is true. Or the TV said this could be true, and you've jumped off the ledge into saying that it's absolutely factual. This is the most dangerous way of thinking. This is called a witch hunt. Could you imagine? It's like people who are like, oh, man, we need to kill all PDF files, stuff like that, right? Here's my thing. That's a good way to think. I mean,
we're going to get radical.
But at the end of the day, right? How do you know this person's even guilty? Don't you need to determine the person to be guilty?
The young people really
don't you know that the person has to be found guilty before you? Don't you know that the person has to be found guilty before you punish them? Because what if you kill them or hurt them and then you find out, that person actually didn't do anything? Then what? You can't give them their life back. But this is what we've become. A country full of reactionary people who don't even want to wait for the ball to hit the floor before they start jumping to conclusions. I just don't ever want to be like that. But I want to send you away with this last little clip. It really doesn't have like a whole lot to do with this show, but it's a good there's a lady named Yeomi Park. She lived in North Korea. She grew up in North Korea, and she managed to escape from what she describes as the world's largest concentration camp. And she does an amazing interview with Nick Shirley. I'm going to watch it when I'm done here. But I watched this clip and I want to share it with you. And she tells Nick Shirley how North Korea became the world's largest concentration camp, the largest concentration camp in history. And the things that she describes and the things that she says the first leader of the North Korean Communist, I guess, party. I don't know what it's called. It's called the People's Republic. I forgot. But the first leader, his name is Kim Il-sung. And the way this man got to power and the way this man got the North Koreans to accept basically creating a totalitarian cult. That's what it is. It's a cult now. A lot of the things he promised them sound a lot like the things that people are being promised in today's America. And she is an advocate against what's going on with the socialism and communism that is trying to take hold in the United States. Basically, a bunch of people willing to sacrifice everything in the hopes of getting something free. Check this out.
The young people really don't know how tyranny comes to them in America. Usually, tyranny comes in the name of compassion and equality. They come and make these sweet, sweet promises of paradise. They created the biggest concentration camp in human history. The whole country became a concentration camp. Nobody is allowed to leave North Korea. North Koreans don't know they are enslaved by a dictator. So if you don't know you're a slave, how do you fight to be free?
And how much of a risk do you think North Korea actually is to the United States of America?
Well, their eventual goal is destroying America and destroying capitalist societies.
What fears you most about fleeing socialism and seeing it coming back here into the United States?
This is an interview between me and Yeomi Park. She's one of the few people to ever escape North Korea and live to tell the tale about what life was like inside of North Korea and what life was like inside of a socialist government, inside of a socialist society. And now with the rise of socialism and ideas like socialism and communism becoming more popular and more prevalent inside of our societies here in America and across the West, I wanted to bring her on and explain exactly what life was like for her living inside of North Korea and to explain how it was for her to escape the tragedies she faced living inside North Korea and the struggle she faced once she made it into China and eventually into the United States. And now, with threats on my life and it being more dangerous for me to go out and about to make my normal videos, I want to do one of these kind of long form interview podcast style videos at least once a month to go more in depth on subjects that are so critically important right now here inside of the world we are currently living in. And I highly encourage you guys to share this video, give it a like, more than anything, share it with others and create thought-provoking conversations with.
Right, perfect. So like Nick Shirley, I don't know if you guys know, bro, he usually goes into like protests, stuff like that, interacts with people, asks important questions. They're starting to threaten bro's life. These protesters and these people who are so loving and compassionate, you know, they defend drug dealers and everybody else. They're threatening to kill this dude now. So now he's trying to get inside of the mindset of someone who has become totally brainwashed on socialist communist ideology. And at the core of it's the monkey trap. You guys ever heard of the monkey trap? Monkey reaches his hand in, grabs hold of something shiny. He won't let go of what he's holding, so he can't get his fist out of the trap. That's what socialism is. You become totally obsessed with this idea of free. I'm gonna get this for free. I'm gonna get that for free. The government's gonna give me free education, free healthcare, free this, free that, right? Right? But the government, at the end of the day, it promises you all these things, but it's never going to deliver. It's only promising you these things because they know that if they promise you these things, It'll make it easier for you to relinquish.
We're going to get radical.
It makes it easier for you to relinquish your power, right? It makes it easier for you to say, oh, you know what? Okay, so why do I need this or that? Why do I need this or that if the government's going to give it to me free? Why do I need to pay for healthcare if the government is going to give me free healthcare? But then you look at the case of North Korea where a bunch of people caught HIV and all types of diseases because under this free healthcare system, with no rich people to pay into the system, nobody paying taxes, the hospitals were so underfunded, the doctors had to use the same needle on like hundreds of patients, which transferred all types of diseases and stuff. I want you guys to check out this clip, and we're going to get out of here. I don't mean to keep you guys too long. Check out this clip.
Do you see any similarities between Zoran Mandami and those communist leaders that you fled
Her
from?
son, very charismatic, charming, smart, making these sweet promises to my grandmothers, and they all believed him, and they chose Kim Il-sung. He was not something that forced people to accept him. It was a majority chose him, and we also learn in democracy that is the only downside of democracy is that tyranny of a majority. Now I'm under tyranny of a majority in New York City. I don't want Mandani, but then the majority chose him, so now I have to live with that. And thankfully, at least in America, we have 50 states. I have a choice to go to Texas or Florida if I want to. And we should keep the country like this, have a different states and different laws. And the federal government should not force one law to all the states.
What's some stories that would horrify the average American about the atrocities that you saw with your own eyes?
I don't think people truly grasp what it means to live in a country where we don't have prosperity. Americans, their problem is having too much food. Before, when people die from starvation, there are like different stages. You know you're hungry, and then you actually lose your mind.
And click right here to see what happens next.
Do you see any similarities between Zoran Mandami and those?
I mean, I encourage everyone to go watch this interview. I've watched other interviews of her. Her story is just like horrific, right? People think, oh, she's lying. Why would this woman leave, risk her life to get out of North Korea, basically sold like a sex slave into China, basically had to like sell herself like a sex slave into China, and then from there escape? Why would she do that? Just to lie to a bunch of Americans. Oh, it's free. Same way these politicians are talking about oh, everybody should pay their fair share. Oh, we need equality and all this stuff. This is the same stuff Kim Il-sung was saying. But guess what? It didn't end up like that. It stayed the same. The rich stayed at the top, the politicians stayed at the top, and the amount of people who were in abject poverty just increased exponentially.
When you were a child, you fled North Korea, you escaped when you were 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your day-to-day like before that? You say you were starving.
Yeah.
What would you guys be eating?
Anything I could find. Like, I remember one time when I was playing with my friends when I was a kid, like he was so much faster than me. I was a girl. He would catch a cockroach and then he pops his belly open. Inside the cockroach tummy, there's something looks like brown rice thing comes out. And he would like put his mouth. So like we would eat, spiders, dragonflies. The fanciest protein I've ever consumed was like grasshoppers. Grasshoppers were my favorite.
As a child, that was your favorite thing to eat was grasshoppers?
Yes.
And that was the fanciest protein you'd had?
Yeah, because I did not know what, fried chickens or steak. That was not a concept. In North Korea, we don't know what cookbook is. Because how do we come up with all those ingredients?
And click right here to see what happens next.
When you were a child, you fled North Korea,
This lady lying about eating grasshoppers just to help. This is like, and when you look at this situation and you look at the logic, this woman's gonna lie about eating grasshoppers and that being the like fanciest type of protein she ever ate until she left North Korea. She's lying about this to help Donald Trump stay in power, even though she's been telling this story, excuse me, since before Donald Trump was ever elected. She's not saying this because of who's president. She's saying this because she doesn't want to see the same thing happen that happened in her country happen here, because she sees us going in that direction. When you get, it's democracy, majority rule. Guess what? You got the majority who's like, yeah, we want free stuff. There's people who are successful out here screaming they want free shit. Because free in America, people are like, you can never have enough.
Now here in chaos here on Canal Street, the scammers don't even chaos here on Canal Street, the scammers.
One thing, and they gave me another. Okay, here we go.
Now here in the United States, you're seeing kind of this rise of communism.
Yeah.
Here in New York City, they just elected a Democrat socialist who himself has said, well, if landlords don't take care of people's rents, we're going to go in.
We just played this one. I'm just going through a little bit of clips, but I've already heard her story told by her several times. But I just think, I mean, I love talking about this issue of socialism, but I realize that with like African-American people, you can't have conversations like this with a lot of African-American people, because African-American people, we love the idea of free stuff. That to us is like the epitome of existence. Free, 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 free. And that is why
you're living
the reparations argument and that movement took hold in our community so totally, because it's something free, but we have the excuse of, oh, it's a debt that's owed, to which masks the reality, which is, no, you want something for work that you never did. That's what's going on. But it will always resonate with us because we are, in our opinions, the number one most old group of people on earth.
In this horrible condition in North Korea, your life's miserable, and then you get this opportunity to leave. How did that come about, to escape North Korea? Because you've heard the stories of people who try to escape and it sounds like they just get shot. But how did you escape, and what was that like?
My sister and I wanted to actually escape together. I wasn't able to go with her because I was ill. But then when she left, she let me a note to go find a lady that would help me to cross the river. And this lady was helping us. She bribed the border guards so they would not shoot us.
How'd this lady have the connection?
She was a human, so she was making money out of us. She was selling us as slaves to Chinese run. So they gave her the money, and then she used that money to bribe the border guards. As soon as we get to China, we were getting.
Did you know that when you were crossing over?
In North Korea, think about it, we don't have internet and we don't have such a thing called the bad news. The news is always happy news, fake news. So I did not know the term called human trafficking.
And click right here to see what happens next.
You're living in this horrible condition.
Guys, if you listen, this lady had to escape North Korea by getting trafficked. She said, as soon as we touch China, soon as we touch China, we was basically just getting raped repeatedly. So you had to go subject yourself to that to have an opportunity in life. But you got somebody thinking, yo, yeah, I'm going to give all power and all my autonomy over to the government, and they're going to fix everything for me. Bro, the government can't even run the DMV, but they're going to fix your life for you. Let that sink in. You go to the DMV, you've been using the number ticket system at the DMV for 30 years of your life, and they haven't found a way to streamline that process yet. Think about that. And that's who you're going to trust with all your autonomy, all your freedom, and all of your free will? You're out of your damn mind.
In North Korea, your life's miserable, and then you get this opportunity to leave. How did that come about, to escape North Korea? Because you've heard the stories of people who try to escape and it sounds like they just get shot. But how did you escape, and what was that like?
My sister and I wanted to actually escape together. I wasn't able to go with her because I was ill. But then when she left,
my bad. But guys, listen, let me get this. 305 got a point right here. He said he heard an interview of a recovered addict who said there's too many safety nets in America, in the U.S. 100%. I got a family member who's been on dope 20 years. Never does the system say, you know what? You've had way too many opportunities to get it together. We're not saving you. We're not catching you anymore. You just going to have to hit rock bottom and figure it out. We literally have a society that creates an environment where people can operate in dysfunction for an extended amount of time with little to no consequences. As long as they don't do too much dope and accidentally kill themselves, they'll be able to basically live high off the hog forever. We in California, they giving dope fiends apartments. $2 a month for rent, free rent. Meanwhile, a family that's struggling with 2 kids, a husband and a wife, they can't get shit. Oh yeah, y'all make too much money. If we made too much money, why can't we afford to have an apartment? They don't say, hey, let me give you something so you don't have to worry about this, until you're able to move up a little bit or earn a little bit more, get ahead a little bit more in your job. They don't give that to people who want to do better. They give all the handouts to the dope fiends and the drug addicts and the people who basically have no willpower. Don't, okay, this is beat me, right? And they believe that you're going to advance society like that. Listen, you think you're going to move America ahead by empowering drug addicts, homeless people, and radicalized young people over the people who go work every day and pay taxpayer money out of their check to keep this country afloat. It is basically it's pure ignorance. But guys, thank you so much for watching this. It's been long. It's almost 2 hours. I appreciate everything you do for this channel. Keep an eye out for these clips. I'm going to clip this up and post it for those of you who like to ingest this content in the short form. Until the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, do me a favor and please take care of each other. Peace.